Hello and welcome to another episode of Badminton for Kids. I thought today is going to be slightly different. We are going to talk about us parents and talk about what is a good sport, in our case, good badminton parents. And really, that is our job. And I guess on the other side, what is a bad, badminton parents? I have been on this journey for the last four years, just 4.5 years of being a badminton dad, a sports dad, and trust me, I have learned a lot, and I'm really thankful for the journey that I have gone through, and I would love to share it with you, my thoughts on what my responsibility and my roles are in terms of my kids' journey and my kids' development. And most importantly, my kids' enjoyment of badminton, sports and activities in general, really. So, bit of a history, I'm a decent player. I'm not a top player or anything like that. I'm good enough to play, against the best in the city, but in terms of the national scales, I'm not that good. Like, I need to train a lot more to compete with the top guys. And I would love to. I would love to have the time to train more to go out there and compete in the national competitions and hopefully, get some wins. But I'm good enough. So when Mei Lin, my oldest daughter, first started, my mistakes that I made at the beginning was that I view Mei Lin as an extension of me in terms of that her results were my results. You know what I mean? Like her skills were a reflection of my skills. So then I was putting heaps of pressure on myself and heaps of pressure on her to perform well during tournament and to really, train hard when we actually have this whole to train. Just because I know how good I am, and if she could absorb all my skills, she would be amazing. She could beat, almost any females in New Zealand if she could get the skills that I have. So, I have this vision of what Mei Lin could be if she wants it, but I think it was more like a vision of Mei Lin of what I want her. And I was trying to push that onto her. It wasn't very good, to put it politely, as such, right? So which means she would feel the pressure during the game and after the tournament, after each game, I would get annoyed if she didn't do well. And then she would then get annoyed. And then even during training, if she was mucking around a little bit, I would get annoyed. And then she would get annoyed. And it just snowballs from there. Like some of the things I would do is when she played in a tournament, I would sit behind her, set the camera to record. The reality is she doesn't watch the videos. I watch the videos, right? And when I watch the video, I get annoyed because she didn't do this and she didn't do that, and it just didn't help. So anyway, during the game, I would sit behind the court. I try to be, mentally, I try to be as encouraging as possible. Like, oh, great shot, man. Oh, that's a great leave. Oh, beautiful shot. Oh, great combo or whatever. But then if she make a mistake, I would go that kind of expression that the moment she sees it or hear it, it's just a switch and she would just get super annoyed and then there was just no turning back from there. So back then, I was more like a helicopter parent as well as a tiger parent. Helicopter, you like constantly hovering around your kids and not giving them the space or the freedom. That's what I was kind of like, when she was playing. And thinking back, I took a lot of enjoyment out of badminton and out of tournaments for her. She still enjoyed going to tournament and she still enjoyed the results that she was getting because she was very good for her age and especially for the kids that are around here. But thinking back, that enjoyment of badminton could have been so much more So this last year or two, I have been working really hard to allow Mei Lin's journey to be her and allow me to be on the side and help her as much as I can without putting my expectation on her. And especially this year, this year has been awesome. Like every time she go to a tournament, there's only one thing I care about, and this is the honest truth. There's only one thing I care about every time she go to a tournament, and that is how many friends she make. The results are the results. You know, she can try her best if she wants to. If she feels tired or she feels lazy, that's her decision. But making friends, those friendships will last a lifetime. You know, like she will still chat with them online, or when she go to tournament, she will go and say hi to everybody. The moment she steps off the game, there'll be kids waiting for her to chat to her. And likewise, and sometimes she would go and sit and support other kids, and other kids would come and support her. And these friends are all over New Zealand. So once upon a time, you know, like we live in a region called Manawatu. So once upon a time, when we go to tournament, all the Manawatu kids would sit together in one group because they didn't know any other kids. All the Auckland kids would sit together, and all the Hamilton kids would sit together. Wellington kids would sit together. And now, you know, whenever Mei Lin goes to tournaments, like she will sit among so many other groups, which I find it so nice to see. So nice to see her having fun, laughing, making new friends, like get excited about making new friends as well. And I think that's what sports is about. That's what going to tournament is about. You know, that personal development is both on and off the court. We're living in a world now where it's all interconnected with a lot of social media and internet, and making friends in person is a skill that I feel a lot of kids probably don't have as much these days. And you know, so I really want Mei Lin to realize that friendships are right there waiting for her to, I guess, to gain and to create. And it takes a lot of skills to come up to a stranger to say, hey, you know, that you had a great game, or hey, you know, I really admire you, or hi, my name is Mei Lin, what's your name? Like for us, for me anyway, I find it quite natural, you know, so I love going out. See, I love going to tournaments and make friends as well. When Mei Lin plays, sometimes I watch her, sometimes I don't even watch her because I'm so busy talking to other parents from different regions or new parents I haven't seen before. Like I love seeing a new parent with a new kids going to a tournament and go, hi, you know, my name is Ben. I haven't seen you before. It's so awesome that you're here. And then, you know, like I will introduce Mei Lin to the kid as well. And it's just our network of friendship just grow and grow. And then badminton tournament is not just about sitting on my bum and waiting for my next game. Badminton tournaments now is about going hi to people, catching up to people. And it's like a whole weekend of socializing and talking. So having fun and making friends is such an important part of their badminton journey. So that's one. Jesus, 8 minutes already and I only talk about friendship. This is going to be a long video. If you guys watch through the rest of the video, I applaud you, okay? So that's one. Number two, so as I said before, your kids' journey is their journey. Don't put your expectation on them because it will put a lot of stress on you and it put a lot of stress on them, and it's just not fun at all. I really, really admire parents that just bring their kids along, let them play, have a chat to them before and after the game, maybe an interval if it's a really important game, but allow them to, you know, to grow in their own space. Certainly that I have talked to Mei Lin is this, like, you know, tournament costs money. It costs money to enter, it costs money to travel there, and then accommodation and food, right? So for me, the only thing I ask her for is just go out and really try her best, trying to think about all the things that we have been work on, like practice on, and trying to use that on the court. There's no point hitting safe shots all the time, right? Learn to play the difficult shot and see how she can adjust herself according to each game, and just try her best. That's all I can ask of her. If she doesn't want to try her best and all she wants to do is muck around, which is also fine, but we probably won't go to as many tournaments because tournaments are expensive, and we could use that money on other things like going on family trips or buy lots of toys or go to restaurants where the whole, the family can enjoy. But yeah, that's all I ask of her. There will always be kids who are better than her, and there are always kids who she will be better than. That's just a natural part of life, right? Just go and try her best. And I think I really admire parents who give their kids that space and work with that philosophy. It's just so easy for us to be competitive. But the reality is, like, it's not our game, it's their game. Let them be competitive, but we're just there to support them. If they feel sad after a game, we just let them know it's just not their day. Or that person is just better. That person trained 10 times a week. Why you only train 1 time a week? So obviously that person will naturally going to be better because of the amount of court time they have. So we are there to provide that support. If they have a great game, congratulate them. If they have a bad game, they encourage them to pick themselves up and get going for the next one. And so that should be your job. The other job that you probably want to think, that I think will make a good parents, it just, I don't know how to say this. One of the hardest things about tournament is getting them to eat. Oh my gosh, I think every parent in New Zealand had the same problem. Hardly any kids eat during tournaments. They're just so busy and so exciting playing with other kids, So yeah, I remember Victor Exerson did an interview and they said his parents didn't really worry about him and his results and his performance. They enjoy coming on the trip. It's almost like a family trip every time they go to a tournament. And his mum, all she cared about is making sure he had enough to eat and had enough to drink. That's all she cared about. And I think that's us as well. Use that as an example. Go there, just encourage the kids, please eat, and then please, drink and teach them to be more responsible, to manage themselves and worry for themselves. But once again, we are just a support person. So to recap, I think personally what I'm doing right now, and you guys can agree or not agree, when I go to tournaments, I love chatting with people and making friends and introducing Maitland to new people and new friends as well, right? When she plays, I like to watch her game, I record it, but then I will sit, I won't sit on the front row unless she asks me to. I would just sit in the back and just enjoy the game. And one thing I've been doing really well this year is not get nervous. Even a close game, she lost this one game like 26-28 in the first set, which was an amazing game. And I was so proud of myself that I wasn't nervous for one moment. And if you talk to a lot of badminton parents, that's not easy at all. And so that's one thing you probably can work on to improve yourself is learn to enjoy each game. Win or lose, big game or small game, just enjoy it. It's such a pleasure watching your kids play. I have seen parents that get too nervous. They would set up the camera to record and they would just leave. They would literally leave the hall or go to the far side of the hall, or they just sit on the cell phone, just play and just refuse to look up to watch the kids' game. And they will watch the kids' game, afterwards on the video. But I feel it's such a joy and such a privilege watching your kids play. So I think it's something as parents we really should work on to not miss that opportunity to share the experience with the kids, right? Yeah, and then afterwards, as long as you don't feel that nervousness, as long as you don't feel that tension, then you will always be happy and you will always be proud of the kids as they step off the court, Win or lose, give them a hug, give them a high five, positive attitude. Certainly is something that we have to work on. It doesn't come overnight, okay? It's just something you just have to work on. And I know that when I watch Maitland's game, even when she makes a mistake, for me, it's just, it's okay, just, try on. try the next point. There's always a next point, right? If you lose a set, there's always a next set. If you lose a game, there's always the next game. There's always another thing after that game. And it's just something to look forward to. So that, we can work on what she needs to do at the training. And now, even at the training, I try a lot on focusing on the fun aspect with all my 3 kids as well, and trying to read the emotion more on each time that we train. Sometimes they just feel tired. Sometimes they just feel grumpy. Sometimes they just want to have hits and play games. You just go along with that ride rather than trying to force the agenda, force today's session plan on them, which I think doesn't work. My relationship with my kids is quite different to my relationship with a student that I coach, right? So that's quite different. Your kids can push your boundaries a lot more. So it's important to respect what they're feeling each time you go and you train, and just go along with it. And eventually one day they will say, you know what, Dad? I would love to be better. I want to train more. I want to beat that girl. When they start to say that, when it comes from them, you will find that it's so much easier then to get more training for them, to get them to train harder, for them to be more responsible. Because all that excitement and the wanting to improve is coming from them. So honestly, I think that's the ultimate goal as us parents, badminton parents, sport parents, is that we want them to want to improve. We want them to say, I want to go to that tournament because I want to be better, right? That's an amazing feeling, rather than go, Maylin, let's go to this tournament. Maylin, I want you to see if you can get to semi-final. It shouldn't be me wanting her to get to semi-final. It should be her. And if she wins, great. If she loses, and if she wants to get to the semi-final and she didn't get there, I know that this year she wanted to be better, because she now wants to get into a higher position every time she plays. Actually, before I forget, there is another benefit of your kids making friends with good and great and not so good players. Remember, friendship is not about how good a player is, right? Go make friends with everyone, because remember, the moment the kids step outside the badminton hall, they are just kids. They are nobodies, right? It's only when they're on court, they are somebody on court. Does that make sense? So, like Maylin does so many things like ice skating, pickleball, blah, 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 art, and music. The top kids in New Zealand, they can't compete with some of the activity that she can. So just, like I said, once they step off the court, there'll always be something better than your kid at something, and she better than some kids at other things, right? So make friends. But when they make friends with really good players, they will internally want to be more competitive. So that's a really great benefit of them making friends as well. So suddenly they kind of go, let's say the top player in New Zealand, her name might be, give her a name, Anna, for example, right? Before, she would say, Anna, too good. I just get as many points as I can. But now she will be friends with Anna. She kind of go, okay, next time I want to be better. I got 2 points this time. I really want to get 5 points next time. And she will train for it. And then if she get 5 points, she say, right, now it's almost a little like competitiveness between them as friends. So there's just so many benefits of them making friends. Yeah, so going back, learn to not get nervous watching the kids' game, trying to enjoy it, trying to support them on and off the court, whether they win or lose. Always have a smiley face, right? If they need you, they will ask for it. If they need advice, they will ask for it. And when you give them advice, it's all about positive comment, positive or it's constructive advice. That's what it is. And always smile. The more you smile, the more they will smile. That's the reality. Just don't put pressure on them. Don't put pressure on their results. It's such a short journey that you get to share with them, right? Another thing I probably should talk about as well is, I know that in New Zealand, I don't think we have a professional badminton player. Certainly, if you win a tournament, some of the bigger tournament, you get some money. But our kids, I know my kids, even if I train them every day, they will never become professional. we have top New Zealand kids and top New Zealand players. The moment they step outside of New Zealand, no offense, but they just get outclassed. So I know that for my kids, what's the point of putting pressure on them, getting them to be the best in New Zealand, because they will never be professional. They can never compete against kids from like China and Japan and Indonesia. And the moment they get into university, different priorities start to take over. Badminton start to drop down the ranking. So the thing I want the most for badminton for my kids is for them to enjoy it, for them to keep on improving and enjoy the fact, they enjoy the improvement process, and to keep playing until old age, because if you put so much pressure on them, you'll find that by the time they get into university and other things take over, they just leave badminton completely. And it is such a shame because badminton is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sport. So yeah, just make sure that you create this supportive and happy environment that they would want to play badminton all the way until old age. That's my ultimate aim for them. And the reality, if they get better and better, and if they get good enough, then later on in life, they will have a chance to play with better players as well, right? Which, different kind of game, different kind of enjoyment of games rather than the beginner level. But it's still fun. It's just different kind of fun. So I think I had probably rambled for enough at 20 minutes time. Let me know what you think. I would love to know what kind of badminton parents you are. Do you think you have made mistakes in the past of supporting your kids? What do you feel proud of in terms of you as a parent? Not your kid, you as a parent. Like, what have you done that you feel really happy about yourself with the way you support them and their journey? Yeah, I made a few mistakes, and I would love it if my message today in this video can help even one person, I guess, to be better sport parents, really. So like and subscribe, comments below, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.